Barcelona, I want to start off the video by doing this. Hard luck, man. You guys actually tried. And at one point, it was looking possible. At one point, I was getting nervous. I was like, I'm not even playing, but I was getting nervous. At one point, I truly felt that fourth goal was coming. At one point, I thought the remontada was about to happen. At one point, I felt like you man could have done it. You just needed a little bit more luck, and it was impressive. It was impressive. If you are a Barcelona fan, you must show full, I wouldn't say happiness because you didn't go through, but you must be proud of your team. Proud FC, you know what I mean? Not Remontada FC, Proud FC. What you guys have done was courageous. What you guys have done at one point deserved for you guys to go through because you guys did something which I wasn't expecting. Look at the stats. But before anything else, before we talk about the first half, the second half, just look at the stats. Look at this, 71% possession, 3 XG. If you take away the penalty, it'll be 2. 21 shots, 9 shots on target, 4 big chances, 1 big chance missed, 15 corners. 15 corners, and look at Atleti. They had their moments with Lookman, but that's it. It was all Barcelona, and it was Barcelona from the first minute. It was what I kind of expected. I kind of expected it. It was always going to be the script. This is why I said before the game started, I said, expect Barcelona within the first 15, 20, 25 minutes just to put everything on the table. High intensity. The fans will be involved. Full press. Full counter press. Attack after attack. Counter after counter. Crosses after crosses. Shots after shots. It was expected. They had to do it. They're playing desperate. And if you play desperate, sometimes it works to your favor, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't, because once you play desperate, you do things which is unlike you doing. But the first 25 minutes, Atletico knew, all right, let's just sit deep. Let's play the lowest block of possible. Let's put the ship. Let's park the bus. Let's park the airplane. Let's park the train. Let's park the Uber. Let's park the little bicycle. Let's pack everything. Let's just stay compact, stay on our shape. And they did it well for the first 25 minutes. They made it. They knew what Barca was planning to do. They knew Barca. All right, cool. Pedro's got the ball. Just make sure you close down all the spaces that pass can be passed to, and make sure you double team Lamine Yamal. And the first 25 minutes, they did it to perfection. And this is why I said, Barca need to surprise them. Barca need to do something which the scouting report didn't show it. Because the scouting report clearly showed that Barca will attack on the right on Lamine Yamal's side, and will use Pedri and try to block all the space for Rafinha for him to run in behind. That was the scouting report. The first goal came outside of the scouting report. The first goal, rather than Lamine Yamal be on the right, Lamine was on the left, which is completely different. And it was Lookman defending him on the left. Lamine, very smart, went past Lookman, patiently waited for someone to crash that little middle of the park, which Mark Bernal did. 1-0 Barcelona, 29 minutes into the game. And then the belief started to come a little bit. Still hard, still kind of impossible. 3 more goals to go, but you kind of believed, you know what? We might do it. Barca felt we might do it here. But then Lookman had a chance. Lookman, 47 minute it was. They had a moment. They had a chance. It could have been 1-1. Llorente with a beautiful cross. Beautiful cross. Lookman, diving header, goes wide. And after 30 seconds from that miss, Barca gets a penalty. Pedri goes down. I can feel the sneeze, fam. You know them ones where you just feel the sneeze coming, bro. Okay, maybe not now. It's coming now soon, don't worry. Pedri goes down. Rafinha, this time it's not Lamine taking the penalty. This time it's Rafinha taking the penalty. Rafinha, bottom corner, 2-0 Barcelona. And the first half could have been 3-0. It could have been 4-0. Barca should have ended that first half 3-0 if they really wanted a chance. But the man which they had up front which I'll come to in terms of player performances, in terms of what Barca could have done differently, in terms of what Barca needs to do differently if they want to compete for these kind of big trophies, but because they are going to be facing Atletico very soon. In about a month from now, they're going to face them potentially in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And this is what they need to do differently. Because the man up front, and Ferran Torres, had 2 moments in the first half where he'd completely mistimed, miskicked the shot. 2 big chances, which, for me, he should have scored at least one of them. He didn't. First half ends 2-0. But still, first half, I'll come to in terms of what they've done, because it wasn't just the first half thing, it was a full game thing, which I'll come to in terms of what they've managed in terms of pressing, which isn't easy to do for that long amount of time. Second half, Barcelona started firing, but they knew they needed a goal. They knew they needed that goal before the 65th minute, because after that, Pedri was going to go off. Hansi Flick came out yesterday or the day before. I'm only playing Pedri 60 minutes, 65 most. He's just come back from an injury. I'm not trying to use him this whole game. I'm not trying to waste him this game. If we win, great. If we don't win, I'm trying to make sure I protect him. 65 minute comes in. Casado's about to come on. Pedri says, I'm good. I'm still playing. I still want to play. I still want to continue. Very courageous thing to do. Fair play. But I still had few chances. The half chances was there. The Dani Olmos, the half chances was there. The headers, the half chance was there. And then came the third goal. A lot of controversy. I don't even want to get into it. I'm going to say one thing. You're going to say another thing. Because that goal didn't lead to anything. It didn't lead to a Barca remontada comeback. It didn't lead for anything. That goal was just the third goal, and that's it. I don't want to talk about the goal. What I think might be different to what you think, and what you think might be different to what I think. So just leave it to the side, because it didn't have any sort of impact to the game. But it did kind of, because it was 3-0, and it still gave Barcelona some sort of hope, because the goal came in the 72nd minute, and they still had about 18 minutes to go. And for 18 minutes, the chance after chance, Musa made some crucial save after crucial save after crucial save. Barca kept the intensity, they kept the pressure, they tried, they brought in Rashford, they brought in Olmo, they brought in everyone they wished they could, half chances, shots outside the box, everything. But towards the end, you could see, after the 85th minute, the players started to make sloppy passes. You could tell the players were sloppy, and Atleti managed to survive, and Barcelona one goal short for making a iconic, historic remontada against Atletico. I'll start with Atletico before I get to Barcelona. For Atletico, this is embarrassing, because you could have actually allowed them to win this game. At no point in this game did I feel like you wanted to exploit the high line, because Barca was pressing so high, which it was expected for them to do. But I'm still very disappointed that you didn't. You had Simeone on the right, looking on the left. You had Julian. There are so many times that when Musa grabs the cross, when Musa's got the ball, he's looking up for someone to run. Everyone is standing still. Whenever someone gets the ball, they win the ball from Rashford, from Firmino, from Ferran. What's the first thing in mind? Just to kick it, just get rid of it. Instead, if they did what they did in the first leg, which is once they win the ball, pass it to the midfield and slowly get that ball progression into the final third, boom, they're now in transition and they are numbering Barcelona. Instead, that wasn't the game plan. The game plan was defend at all costs. I don't care about attack, just defend. And if we get lucky, boom, we're through. Disgusting game plan. It was expected, but still, have some sort of attacking game plan. Have some sort of, Barca's going to come full 11 players on me. I've got so much space for me to exploit. There was that kind of intention. No intention. You could have bottled a 4-0 lead, and it was possible. And to be fair, you should have lost. The way this game was played out, you should have lost. Barca deserved to go through, if we're being real with what they did. And now we'll come to Barcelona point of view. Listen, I'm going to be real. This was an impressive performance. For you to run 90 minutes, full intensity, full running, no stopping, high pressing, the full Gigan press. the full 11 players on you, winning the ball as quickly as you can, chasing, running for 90 minutes straight, and only to the 80th minute get exhausted, get tired, that shit is impressive. I'm jealous because I'm looking at my team. My team can't do that. I would love for my team to, for one game, for everyone to press as a unity, as a collective, show heart, show desire, the way they did. We do it in stretches. We do it like in a 9-minute game, we might do it like 5-10 minutes if we're under pressure. They man did it for a full 9 minutes because they knew they had to do it. And everyone played to one game plan, which is just work hard as a team. And they just fell short. The reason why they fell short, for me, comes down to some player performances. This man let them down massively. And I've said it since last season. I've said it since this season. If you're trying to win the big trophies, you can't rely on Ferran Torres to be the striker of your team. You just can't. He is a liability. And today was the biggest example where the game that is massive, the game which you need him, the game which you don't need him. You just need him to score when you have the chances. Finish what you can. The guy can't do it. And he was a massive reason why today Barca fell short. Fermin, I didn't even think he had a good performance. His final actions was disappointing for me. Rafinha gets an 8.6 rating. Yes, you won the ball a couple of times. Yes, you were chasing and you won the ball. Yes, you did that. But there were so many times where Barca's in a good position, your final pass was missing. Your final pass was lacking in so many times. And those few moments, actually not few, about 5 to 6 to 7 moments, Lamine is wide open. There was one time where Lamine was open. He was about to run. You decide to shoot when Lamine is in a perfect space by himself, 1v1 against Ruggeri. You decide to shoot. Second moment, 3 moments, 4 moments, he's right there. You look at him, boom, you switch the side to another play. And Lamine is frustrated. I don't know, maybe I'm not here to make a narrative about it. It just felt like you don't want him to get the shine. That's the way it looked to me, because you look at him, he's wide open, you don't pass him the ball when he's got the hot hand. Because everything today came from Lamine. If Barca wanted to come back, it was through Lamine. The amount of times he went through players, the amount of times he cooked Ruggeri and the ball was crossed inside the box, no one was there. The striker Ferran Torres doesn't even make the right movements. He just stands still, expect the cross to get to him, rather than having the instinct as a striker to get to the crosses, to find the open spaces. Because look at what he did in the first goal. Lamine Yamal in that first goal found the open space, was waiting patiently before the cross. Marc Bernal was there. If Marc Bernal was a striker, maybe the game would have been different. Lamine was incredible. He did everything that he could have had. Like, everything that he needed to do, he did it. It's just unfortunate he's playing with a couple of players that didn't have the same intention. Pedri, I can't believe what he did, fam. Him being injured, him supposed to be playing 60 minutes, for him to run. I saw him sprinting at the 85th minute, trying to win the ball a couple of times. The amount of times I saw him sprint from one side to the other side, the ball progression, the ball carry, the pass, incredible performance. Marc Bernal is showing up every single game and is showcasing what he was before the injury last season, the ACL injury. This has been an impressive couple of games now for Marc Bernal back to back. Both Kabasi and Gerard Martin had a very good game, because the amount of times when Atletico decided to attack, it wasn't a lot, but when they did sometimes, they were there to intercept, they were there to recover. The crosses, they dealt with it pretty well. The balls at the top, they dealt with pretty well. The high line, they managed to recover themselves. Them two had a very good performance. Cancelo had a very good performance when it came to win that, either as a left back or right back. He had a very good game. But for Barcelona, they did everything which they could. They tried, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Sometimes it's not meant to be, fam. Sometimes it's not meant to be. But I think this will give Barca a nice little, especially the second leg, because the first leg, they lost when Pedro wasn't there, when Rafinha wasn't there. But now when Rafinha's back and Pedro is back and Marc Bernal is back, because Marc didn't play any short minutes last game, now it gives them a good idea. Don't worry, we'll see in the quarterfinals, and this time around it's going to be a completely different result. That's the way they should look at it. Yes, you beat us first leg, but we didn't have like 3 of our best players. Don't worry, the second leg, we're back now. let's see if you guys can beat us the same way in the quarterfinals, because they might have beaten them in the Copa del Rey, but when it comes to the Champions League knockout stage, which is very, very possible for both of them to face each other in the quarterfinals, because I'm expecting Barca to beat Newcastle, I'm expecting Atleti to beat Spurs, and I'm expecting the quarterfinals matchup between Barca and Atleti in the Champions League, and that's going to be interesting. Another back-to-back legs between them, shit's going to be cooking. But those are my thoughts. Barca did everything which they could, which is a very impressive performance. Fair play to them. Fair play to them, what they could, but it wasn't enough. Put down in the comment section what you guys made of the game. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon with another video. Peace.